Testing, testing.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Cool. Let's go.
Whew, what a week it's been.
Truly. I'm Alex.
And I'm Emily, and welcome to What a Week.
You want it, we got it. We're bringing you the top news by Zillennials for Zillennials.
Let's dive right in. So, today we're starting with some pretty sad news. So, Tiger Woods is recovering from surgery after he got in a car crash in Los Angeles on Tuesday. He was in town to host the Genesis Invitational at the Riviera Country Club in Pacific Palisades. He wasn't playing golf at the tournament because he's been recovering from his fifth back surgery that he had in December. He was just there kind of giving like commentary. And so on Tuesday, he was driving this luxury SUV to a nearby country club for a shoot that he was doing, and he lost control of the vehicle in a windy road, and he got in a terrible car crash. I mean, it the car kind of the car hit the center divider and then went to the opposite side of the road and rolled down a cliff or a hill rather. And so it was a pretty intense crash, and um I mean, the car was totally wrecked. They had to, paramedics and firefighters had to use the jaws of life to get him out of the vehicle because they couldn't get him out with anything else, and it took them 30 minutes to remove the vehicle from the bottom of the little embankment. So it's pretty serious. I mean, he was sent to the hospital, UCLA Medical, and there he had leg surgery. And so thankfully now his managers have said that he is recovering, he's responsive. The LA Sheriff's Office says that they're not going to press any charges because it was an accident and there was no evidence or signs that there were any drugs or alcohol involved. It was just an accident. So, I mean, hopefully he recovers okay. A lot of people have told him, like, we hope you get better, including former President Barack Obama, Donald Trump, his former girlfriend, wife, um, other athletes. Everyone is just really hoping he's able to recover soon. It's just really difficult too because he was, like I said, recovering from his fifth back surgery and now he had ankle and leg surgery. So it's really unknown if he will ever be able to play golf again, which is just so devastating.
Wow. That's really scary. And gosh, car accidents are so scary. And I just think because his foot and ankle and everything are all kind of, we don't know what's happening in his update he gave, how it has like metal rods and everything kind of in his leg. And I mean, not like, I'm relating the best way I can. I broke my leg last year, and the pain just for a minor break was so awful that I can't even imagine the recovery for this. So I wish him the best.
Yeah, we definitely wish him the best. Hopefully he can one day play golf again, but I mean, but we'll have to just wait and see. But for right now, we're sending you all of our prayers and best wishes, Tiger Woods. And now we're gonna pivot to another story, which was actually we talked about it briefly last week, but we only kind of got to the surface of it. Actually, we only got to the surface of it last week on our IG live show, What a Half Week. So go check it out. It's every Wednesdays at 8:30. But a lot of people were messaging
Yes.
us and wanted to know what our thoughts on this story. So if you guys ever want us to talk about something, message us, let us know, and we could talk about it. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Kendall Jenner's
Please
tequila
slide in our
brand.
DMs.
Yes, slide into those DMs.
Mhm.
But today we're going to be talking about Kendall Jenner's new tequila brand, 818 Tequila. So since she announced her new brand, she's gotten a little bit of controversy from it. And I think, I'm a Kardashian fan, but I do criticize them when it's valid. And I think it's valid that she's getting criticized for this. Um, okay, so let's start with, I think, one of the things most people are most bothered by, which is the name. So it's named 818 Tequila. I am confused and was confused when she announced it and announced the name. I knew that the Kardashians were like one of them was coming out with a tequila brand. I assumed it was Kylie because she's more of like vocal about loving tequila and like drinking compared to Kendall. But I knew it was like either Kendall or Kylie. They had kind of been posting teasers of it because in their old like Instagram pictures if they ever went to Mexico, they'd, like, hide, like, a bottle of, like, 818 tequila in the back. So when they announced it, I was like, "Why 818 tequila? Like, why the name 818?" And I know why. It's because 818 is the area code for the San Fernando Valley, which which is where she grew up in. Calabasas is technically considered the valley, even though kind of on the outside. I just think it's ironic. I mean, people think it's cultural appropriation for several reasons. One, because she's a white person making tequila, but also because it's called 818 tequila, and 818, the area is very lower middle income, like a lot of minorities. I would say 80% of the people who live in the San Fernando Valley or within the 818 area code are minorities. They're Latinos, African Americans, Filipinos, or people from Asian communities. And it's just kind of like frustrating because no one can really claim the area code as theirs. It literally belongs to anyone and everyone who lives in the area, but it's very frustrating as someone who lives in in the 818. It's frustrating to see, like, a white person claiming and profiting off an area that I feel like is a minority. Just to see someone profiting and making a brand from this area code is kind of frustrating. I mean, anyone from the valley could come up with this 818 brand, right? And they have a right to do it in a way too, I guess, because they're from here. But I don't know, it just really rubs me the wrong way, and it's been rubbing a lot of people the wrong way because it just kind of feels like, have you even been to a lot of the neighborhoods in the 818? Do you really know how difficult it is for some of the families that live within the community, you know?
Totally. I no, I totally agree with you, and I think too it's like she's culturally appropriating by having a tequila brand, and then she's culturally appropriating by using the 818. And then what was her connection to connecting like the 818 brand name to tequila? Like why did she decide? I get she's from there, but
Yeah,
what made her decide exactly to name it that?
that's another thing where I was confused because I was like, "Why?" Like, that has nothing to do with tequila.
Yeah.
And that brings us up to our next point, which is obviously another part that is cultural appropriate culture. I can't even speak today. I'm so heated about this. Um, another thing that is culture appropriation is that she's a white person making tequila. Now, I will say she is not the first white person to to come out with a tequila brand, nor will she be the last. I mean, George Clooney has Casamigos tequila, which I love, and also has a better name, where it has a better association to the origin of tequila. Nick Jonas has his own tequila brand. The list goes like on and on. Um, but she's coming out with this brand that's tequila. Tequila is a Mexican kind of alcoholic beverage, and so by her making her own brand and literally making all this money off something that didn't come from her culture, you are appropriating it. I think it was a little silly of her and her family to not think. Maybe they did think and didn't care, or maybe they really didn't think there was gonna be an issue with her coming out with a tequila brand because George Clooney has a very successful tequila brand, and from what I recall, he never really got criticized for it. So maybe they assumed like, "Oh, yeah, no one's gonna really mind that much," but I feel like it's silly that if they did think that way, and I feel like if you're literally profiting off a culture, you should be giving back and educating people about that culture at the very least, because I think it's unrealistic to say only Mexicans can make tequila, only Russians can make vodka, because I think vodka comes from Russia, right? If I'm wrong, I apologize. But it's kind of silly to say like
I don't know anything about alcohol.
it's like silly to say like you can only make tequila if you're Mexican because I just don't think the whole world is going to adhere to that. Unfortunately, like people aren't gonna listen to that standard, right, unfortunately. But I do think if you're gonna come up with something that's taken from another culture, give 10, 15, 20% of your profit back to Mexico, to the community where they're making your tequila. Educate people about important issues going on in Mexico. Start a nonprofit named 818 Tequila. Or because you're literally taking stuff from the 818 and you're labeling your brand this, maybe give 10% of the profit to the town where you're making the tequila in Mexico, give another 10% to minority or lower income areas or charities in the 818. So that way you're like giving back and you're giving back to the places that you're taking from and profiting. Does that make sense?
Totally, 1,000%. And I think you touched on like the two, I mean, it's such a problem, all of it, but two of the biggest things and the biggest takeaways that people should be seeing is that one, this is a family that has profited off of cultural appropriation many, many, many times. And this is just like an added layer on top of that. And two, it's like they already have money. Why? It's not like she's making this business because she like needs money. Like she's doing it because it's another thing for them to do and put on their whatever resume or anything. So it's like, yeah, why she doesn't need the money. Donate it. Do something with it. Educate. Like be, I don't know, useful in the space rather than just like making it about yourself.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think it's I'm not mad at another person coming out with the tequila brand that's in general, like, I'm not mad at that, like, I fucking love tequila, the more tequila, the better, yeah, bring it all out, but I feel like you just need to be a little bit more sensitive and really think about everything before you release it and really think, like, "What good can I also do because I am a white person doing this?" Also, though, I do think it's important to call out that people have really called out Kendall, which I think is warranted for her culture I can't say that word today, cultural appropriation. People have really been calling her out for it, but I think it's important that if we call out Kendall, we need to hold every person accountable who is not Mexican and has released a tequila brand, because it shouldn't just all fall on Kendall because she's a Kardashian and people criticize anything the Kardashians do, you know? That's my last little thing
Totally.
about that.
No, I totally agree with you. Also, who knew Nick Jonas was doing all this stuff? I had no idea.
Yeah, he's, like, busy.
Isn't he on The Voice too this season?
Yeah, I don't know when he has time to, like, be with his wife, because she's also really busy too, like, Priyanka Chopra's a boss ass bitch in, like, her own right.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, "Damn, y'all are fucking busy."
Yeah, like, what are you guys how? I can hardly keep my to-do list that I have on here. Like, how do you all do it? I don't know. Well, next we are going to go to another infuriating topic, really. I mean, it's just so I'm sure y'all have heard, and maybe many of you have experienced it. I'm not sure if we know anyone who or have listeners who are in Texas. But Texas was facing unprecedented storms. Is that blizzard? What's the correct
I
word?
I believe it was a blizzard, but it was a
Okay,
storm. Let's say
a
storm. It was
storm.
a very strong
Yeah.
storm.
Very strong storm. I mean, the temperatures were like so low. They were in like the tens, I think, and which is unprecedented really for Texas. And all of Texas was experiencing snow, which again, unprecedented. And a lot of people were losing power. A lot of people didn't have water. So it was really, really a nightmare there. And it's still going on. And so now that we have that background, let's go into the infuriating part. So, Senator Ted Cruz, a Texas senator, was seen going to Cancun, flying on a flight to Cancun while all this is happening in Texas, this disaster, this natural disaster. And so people caught him, which is already really bad. Like, of course, it's very, very bad. Then he releases a statement and he's like, "Oh, well, I was just being a good dad. Like I was just taking my daughters to Cancun because like they had the week off from school and they wanted to go. So I was just being a good dad. Like I'm flying right back, like blah blah blah." And reports came out that at 6 a.m. that's when he booked the flight. Originally he was supposed to come back like that weekend and not the next day. So it's just like he made a huge error in judgment, which we know him to do anyway. And then it's just like he tried to like make it
Blame his
better,
daughters.
yeah, blame his daughter. Like he tried to make it better, which like didn't made it almost worse in a way. Like I don't know, I don't even know which scenario's worse.
I think he made it worse.
Yeah, it's really
Eh,
bad.
It's just so insensitive and, like, tone deaf because, like, I mean, if anyone that's living in Texas had the opportunity to hop on a plane and go to Mexico, I think they would. So it's
Definitely.
just like you don't when you're the senator of Texas, you don't run away when there's a natural disaster. It's like Governor, well, I guess he's a governor, Newsom's a governor and Ted Cruz is a senator. But it's like Kamala Harris when she was senator of California. If she was like, "Oh fuck, there's a shit ton of fires in California. I'm going to go to Washington or I'm going to go to Mexico." Like, no, you go over there and you help your people who voted for you and put you in office. Like you give back, you give them try to get them their power back, their electricity. People are literally freezing. to death. Like, people have died from how cold it was and just from the lack of resources, so it's just so tone deaf.
Oh, it's so beyond. And like two things I want to say that like make this worse in a way is that first of all there were photos seen which we'll show right here, but Snowflake, who's his dog, was left at the house. Like you just see this photo of Snowflake. Sorry for all the audio listeners, but you see this photo of Snowflake and like I don't know if he, she, but the dog looks so sad. Like
Looking
it's
out
so
the door.
awful. And it's like we know clearly Ted Cruz does not care about humans, but like the kind of monster that doesn't care about dogs, like come on, like are you kidding? Like to leave your dog, I really hope that dog can come go to a new family because this is ridiculous.
I agree. It was such a sad picture. He's just out looking out the door, and he's just there, and it's just so sad.
I know. And then the other thing I wanted to point out was his wife Heidi Cruz. She her text messages got leaked. And when everything started happening in Texas, did you hear about this yet?
No!
Okay, this is like so she texted like a group of I don't know if it's their neighbors or like their friends quote, but she texted a group of them and was like, "Hey, we're going to Cancun. Like anyone want to come? Like we're heading to get away from this, blah 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 all this stuff." And literally you know that they don't like them because these text messages got leaked. Like if they had actual friends, these texts wouldn't get deleted
They
or lead. Oh my god, I keep like combining the word deleted and leaked. Anyway, they wouldn't get leaked, but the fact that they got leaked, like you can tell they are not liked, even in their like friends.
100%. Like, if Kylie's friends could keep her pregnancy a secret for 9 months, their friends could keep these text messages a secret forever, and they
Yeah,
didn't. How fucking annoying. I also just think it's, like,
I know.
very ironic and even more frustrating that Ted Cruz literally always says, "Put up the border, like, the wall, like, don't let them into our country," like and basically, like, doesn't understand this is the very funny and ironic part. He doesn't understand why parents are fleeing their country to take their children to a safer place or a place where they can have a better future. So coming from south of the border to the United States, when he is literally doing the same thing. You're literally fleeing Texas and going to Mexico where you have for a very long time for years said keep them out of our side of the border, and you're going there to seek refuge basically because it's fucking snowing balls in Texas. Like, are you freaking kidding me, Ted Cruz? Like, I can't stand him.
I know. I know. It's actually so ridiculous. And I'm surprised because I just want to say, like, I remember when Governor Gavin Newsom, California's governor, was he went to French Laundry, that like high-end restaurant, like with a group of people during COVID. I mean, COVID's still happening, but this was like a few months ago. And I saw like so many Twitter trolls were like, oh my God, he's awful, which I agree. I'm not defending him in any way. But it seemed awfully quiet from the other side when Ted Cruz did this. But surprisingly, according to Newsweek, his approval rating dropped 20%. So now 24% of voters approve of his performance, which how is there
Good.
still 24? I don't know. Should be even less than that. But if anyone was wondering, his approval rating has dropped severely.
Great. I love that. That's my good news of the week.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and I hope the Texas voters remember this incident when they're voting to dump his ass in the next election.
I know. I really hope so. I really hope so. Because wasn't it a close margin in his last reelection in like 2018? He went against Beto O'Rourke, and I think it was pretty close.
Oh, what did he go up against Beto O'Rourke?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, I think that was in 2018. Now I'm like nervous I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure,
Oh,
and I'm pretty
shoot.
sure it was pretty close.
Well, that means his reelection's coming up next year, which is very exciting news.
Coming soon. Coming very soon.
Ooh. Well, I guess it's not all bad news for Texas though, right? Because AOC's been helping them?
Yes, yes. Thank you for that transition. So, I just want to say this is what a politician for the people looks like. So, AOC set up on her Twitter. She was like, "Okay, y'all, like, let's come together. Let's donate to Texas, for Texas relief for people there." And she raised almost 5 million. And this was as of a couple days ago, so I don't even know if it's more than that. But she's raised almost 5 million. She went to Texas to help the people, and I think this is just another good news of the week and a good example of what politicians can do for the people.
I mean, she's not even a senator. she's
Yeah,
like, not that I mean, she's still like a fucking boss ass bitch and has a great title, but she's a representative of the Bronx. Like it's
exactly.
really, she does not have to do this. It's not, it's out of her being a good human that she wants to help, you know? These aren't even
Mhm.
her constant I can't fuck, I give up on talking. These aren't even the people that are voting for her to be in office. I can't say the C
Yes.
word. Constituents? I think that's,
Constituents.
yeah, that word.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So she's just doing it to be a good human, and it's like, can we just like AOC for president, man? I love her.
Yes. Oh my god, I know. I this is, like, just a side note, but I remember she said, like, she's equally as likely to run for higher office as she is to quit politics, which I support her either way. Like, I'm sure her job, especially, I mean, she's getting death threats all the time. She thought she was gonna die 2 months ago. Like, I'm sure it's a hard role, but I would support her so hard if she ran for higher office, like, especially president. Can you imagine?
So hard. I would love that. Love that. We're here for you, AOC. Come
Yes.
on our show.
We're here for you, AOC. Yes, come on What a Week, and we will campaign for you.
Yes. Uh, well, I guess that does it for our main stories. Alex, what are your good news of the week?
Okay, so my good news of the week, I'm very excited about this. My mom got her second vaccine dose, so she is vaccinated, which oh my gosh, it's such
That's
a relief. It
exciting.
just feels so nice. So I'm so happy.
I love that. I'm so excited for her and you.
Yes. Okay, what's your good news of the week? I need to know.
Besides Ted Cruz's approval rating going down more than 20%, my kind of the same as yours. My mom is
Mhm.
getting her COVID vaccine on Saturday, which is just
Yay!
such a like sigh of relief. I feel like it'll really be a weight lifted off my shoulders when she gets her second dose, but
Mhm,
they're finally starting to vaccinate teachers in LA County, and so we literally, it's
mhm,
crazy. She got like the code to sign up yesterday, and well, that's like the first
mhm,
thing we did when she got home. We like signed her up, and we got her appointment for the second one too. And by like
mhm.
10 o'clock, we checked again, and there weren't appointments until April. And she got hers on Saturday,
Wow. Oh my god.
which is just like
Wow.
insane. Her coworkers tried to do it this morning or last night and they couldn't find any appointments. They have to wait until they release more. So I'm just like so thankful that
Wow,
she is
I'm glad you
able.
guys did it early.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take her. I'm so excited.
Yay, that's awesome. And I wanna share this article too, or info from this article. It was an article from The Atlantic, and I believe it published on, like, February 23rd, but basically they were kind of giving a timeline, like, what is the most realistic option of what's gonna happen kind of this year and with COVID, and they were saying, like, by, like, summertime, it should be a good summer. It should look like how summer 2019 looked, which is awesome. Then they said probably around the fall and winter time, we'll probably have to work from home again if we're able to. We'll probably have to, the whole time, probably have to continue masks and kind of do what you're comfortable with. But then they were saying by like next spring, so spring 2022, like it should be good. It should be a new normal. So I saw that and I literally was so excited because I'm like, honestly, like they were saying once you're vaccinated and you feel comfortable, you can see a friend who's vaccinated and like it's pretty like the risk is pretty low. So I'm like, "Oh my god, like that's not far off. Like we're coming close and it feels really
Thank
good. Like
God.
finally."
I mean, in March, it's literally gonna be a year in March since we all went in
Mhm.
lockdown. So it's just, the end is near. I can see
I
it and feel
know.
it.
I cannot wait. I'm so excited just to like hang out with friends, to see you. We haven't seen
Because
each other
I
in like
know.
a year and a half or
Forever.
something.
Yeah, to finally hang out. That would be, gotta have a photo
Yes.
shoot.
Yes, I know we need a photo shoot because we have no photos together. But it's coming up, y'all.
All right, so let's read your good news of the week. Alex, do you want to start and read the first one?
Yes. Okay, so our first good news of the week is from the What I'm Mad About Today podcast. And they said their dissertation is coming along good.
Yay,
Exciting!
dude, that's awesome. That's like a big girl
Yeah,
thing right there.
congrats.
Rose said she met her new puppy, which is freaking adorable.
Okay, I need photos because I love puppies. I want a dog so bad, so I'm gonna be very jealous. And then Jack said, went on camera at my news job for the first time. Which by now he's also gone on a second time. So congrats to Jack.
Spirit fingers to Jack and Snap.
Yes.
That's freaking awesome. Well, everyone, that does it for us this week. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to What a Week with Alex and Emily. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on those post notifications and leave comments or like if you enjoyed this video. Also, if you really enjoy us and want to go an extra mile, don't forget to be a Patreon for us. You can find out how to be a Patreon for us in the link in our bio of our socials or the link in the description of this video.
Yes, and you can find us on Instagram at What a Week Show, and you can find us on Twitter and on TikTok at What a Week Show _.
Thank you. Oh, and our book club, our first book club meeting is on Tuesday at 8:30.
Yes, it's coming up. Yes, Tuesday, March 2nd at 7:30 p.m. And you can find that on our link, any of our socials, the link in bio. Find it there, sign up. We will send you the Zoom link.
Yes, and I need to read the book because I am not as far along as I wanted to be, and now I have like a weekend to read it, and I'm a little stressed. It's fine. It's fine.
No, same. I literally was planning on like reading it all, like getting through it like a week before. I have read one chapter, but I swear I'm just master procrastinator. I swear I'll get through it. I promise you guys.
Honestly though, yeah, I feel like that's a journalist in us, like leaving everything to like last second. But yeah, I've only read 5 chapters. So
okay, yeah, you're way more further along than me. But I'm way behind.
There's like 20 chapters.
Oh God, I'm scared.
Tune
but
in
it's
on
fine.
Tuesday
it should work.
to find out if we finish the book or not.
Yeah, see what happens. You may want to catch this one.
All right, well, everybody, make sure you have a good weekend. Stay safe, wear a mask, and read a book. Enjoy.
Yes. We will see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.